He is no doubt a renowned name in the African film cinemas with multiple incredible awards to his credit. To name a few, he was honored as one of the most outstanding contributors to the Ghanaian film industry. A legendary award by the Ghana Film Summit in 2018, Top Flyer Achievement for Best Director in Africa 2019, Best African Film Director, African Movie Awards in 2018, and a host of other credible awards from both local and international recognition. He is known as the father of the new generation of Ghanaian actors, fathering the likes of ace actors Majid Michael, Jackie Appiah, Yvonne Okoro, Nadia Buhari, John Dumelo, Yvonne Nelson, Van Vika, Martha Akoma, Juliet Ibrahim, and a host of others who cannot tell their success stories without the benefit of their fame and popularity from his movies. A graduate of the Federal Polytechnic, Ado Ekiti, and today one of Africa's finest movie directors of this time. He goes by the name Frank Rajah Arase. COVID is real. Welcome to Real Talk with Aline Keister, Season 2. I am your host, Aline Keister. I'll be right back after this.
Let's watch the Real Talk with Aline TV show by our very own daughter of Sierra Leone, Aline Keister.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Aline TV show. Today we're going to be talking about the movies. If the Ghanaian industry is grown so well, it's because the person I have here today has a part to play. Don't get it confused. He's actually Nigerian, but he made a lot of difference. And he's here in Sierra Leone. Is he going to help us? Why is he here? I want to know, and I'm sure you want to know. So help me welcome Frank Rajah Arase.
Oh, God, that sounds so nice. Jesus.
Welcome to Sierra Leone. One of the major reasons why I have you here, to know why you're here and see how you can help us and what some of the problems are in the industry. Of course, there is no way. All the biggest movies, everybody knows. They know of you. If you don't know, the Beyoncé movie, Rihanna, all that big name there. That's him. That's the Frank Rajah. I am honored and blessed to have him here. Hopefully, he'll get me one of his movies. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be an actor as well. Job. Tell me, let's get straight to it. Why are you here? What job?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am. It's been a long time coming. You know, It's been a long time coming. This is actually not my first time. This year wasn't the first time coming to wanting to make a film here in this country. I've been invited before by Ahmed Cisse, but then apart from that, few others like that, but I've never had the opportunity to want to settle to make a film. I just think it's got a lot to do with connection. You see, sometimes film is a tradition to me. It's a culture to me, you see. I need to be comfortable with the environment to which I'm working because it's very spiritual. Filmmaking, when you see it to be ordinary, you make ordinary. But when you see it to be very spiritual, you make a film is detailed. There's a lot in filmmaking because you're connecting audience. It goes beyond what you see. It's like passing an unseen spirit from one person to the rest of the world. You know, the camera seeing through your mind to telling a story. It's a huge thing. So being comfortable with the environment, with the person you're about to work with, it matters a lot. And the way the people receive you also matters a lot. It tells whether or not you're here to stay or not to stay. So I've been here several times and it just didn't key in until Ambassador Junior Navo invited me, and for some reason there was a connection. I don't know, I can't tell, but I just felt a little comfortable. I've been here, I come in, there was a time I heard an audition here. I wanted to make a film, The Refugees. It was here I actually did the audition.
Really?
Yeah, I did the audition here, and after the audition, I just wasn't comfortable, and I told Ahmed I need to leave.
And it was like, stuff like that?
Yeah, it was like, why? Frank, I already made noise about this. People are aware of this. Like, you come and say, you know, I have to go. Like, I need to leave. But I know when I left then, there was a whole lot of talks. My email, those that know me, phone calls, messages, and all of that. I just turned deaf ear to certain things. But see, I just think that the people might not understand how it works. You just need to be comfortable. When I came in, and Navo don't need to say much. He didn't need to say much. I just knew I needed to work.
You just knew you needed to work with him.
Yes, I just knew I was going to do it. It's got nothing to do with how much money was involved or not involved. It just have to do with the mind of the person you're relating with. There was a connection, and I felt comfortable, and I just thought I could do stuff here with him.
Okay. So what have you done so far with him?
As a matter of fact, we there was a massive audition, like a put-together audition. There was huge. Lots of people turned out for the audition, but of course you can't please everybody. You need to streamline the number of persons you want to work with, because in the industry there's a way we try to grow. Most especially when you're trying to create an industry in a country or in a place, you need to learn to differentiate them, the known faces, the star faces, the commercial faces. You need to know how, so you can build it. Even in Hollywood, it happens that way. You need to know those that you want to concentrate on, those that you want to make the commercial valued faces, those that you want to see as the known faces, those that you want to promote and project as the star faces, and those are going to be maybe okay. He's an actor, but then that. So when you put all of these in their different categories, and you'll be able to know where to start from. As a matter of fact, we've been able to do that. Personally, I've done that. But there's something about him, Navo, as a matter of fact. He's so not interested in who you have picked. He's interested in the people. Yes. You're comfortable, you're okay, you think you've gotten what you're looking for, you think you don't. What do you do? Should we call for another audition? Do you think you want to go search for more? There's this spirit of, I'm giving you free hands. Do what you want to do.
So he's not really
exactly
like managing you to tell you who to put in things, which is really important, because that's really affecting the industry.
Yes.
It's all about who you know. They may not be good actors, but just because that person is that person's son or daughter or whatever, let me put them in the film. So I'm happy to hear that he didn't really.
No. I just think he's a businessman. To him, he just said that he just want to give back to the country. If this is one thing, he's done a lot, but he just felt that he's not fulfilled yet. He just want to impact. But there was something I said to him. I was like, the greatest investment any man can make in life is to invest in people. When you invest in a human, it's a generational investment. Whatever success the person achieves today affects his children, and the yet unborn generation. So I just think that if you help a man and the man becomes successful and probably achieves in life, then that's a generational blessing. Those that is coming after him, even his family and extended family. So if you have a heart to want to do for the people, then it's massive. I just see what he's spending. He tried to please me in all aspects. Let's just make this happen.
Right. And you already said it, you're very comfortable. So was that the attitude that you took to Ghana? This attitude right there, where you were able to make this
create an industry.
To create an industry.
Yes, as a matter of fact. The Ghanaian industry, they were actually the local television stuff and all of those, but you see, it was difficult for them to break boundaries before I came in. There were, of course, just one of those happening in the country, like everywhere in the world too. In all of these countries, there are filmmakers, there are TV stations, programs, dramas, stage plays in all of these countries. But you see, the big problem, which I think that Cameroonian industry, probably I don't want to go into that because the Sierra Leone industry might be facing right now. I don't want to go into that because I know probably.
No, we're going to get into some of that.
Yes.
We'll get there. I just wanted to try to figure it out, how you were able to transform the Ghanaian industry, with you working with the AYV team right now. And talking about faces, where you were able to know who's a star face, who's a commercial face, and things like that. Is that the same way you were able to know Jackie is this person, Yvonne is this, that, and the other?
Exactly. It's for a director, you obviously have an eye for who becomes who, and attitude also is very important. Character is also very important. The drive to wanting to achieve it is also very important. The Ghanaian industry, as a matter of fact, as it is today, I saw it from the start that it was going to be like that. The acted, the desperation, the willingness to want to do something was in all of them. The drive, we want to do this. What do you want? We need to support this to make it happen. There was this energy that was within them, and you just you don't need to think too far. You don't need to think too far to know that there's something good.
They're
something
gonna
good
grow
is coming. Yes, you know. Until they don't forget that. It don't matter what it is. Wherever they are, the moment they see Michael, is like, wow. No. It's always like the big daddy.
It's that big daddy, which is really good.
Yeah.
So we understand as well, as far as finances, like the Ghanaian government actually poured some money in it. Were you a part of that project? Did you initiate that? How were they able to get some money in there? I mean, these are just some of my research. I'm trying to understand.
The Ghanaian, the Ghanaian government generally, I'm not going to be, I would not deny the fact that they're not supportive to the industry. Okay. But the Ghanaian government, they did not create an industry in Ghana. Okay. They did not support the industry in Ghana from the scratch. They still don't support, but you see, the sense of, one way or the other, they actually support the producers at the end of the year, you know, just some little thing to appreciate them. Not like to make film for you or support a project.
Just to say thank you.
Yes, they do that to the producers. But that never came to me. All that I got from, it's personal relationship with any of the stakeholders or the government officials. It's got to do with a personal relationship. Many times, maybe lunch with this, lunch with that, dinner with this, dinner with that, and sometimes a take home, thank you. That kind of thing, it happens severally. It still happens. If I go to Ghana right now and they know that I'm in town,
you're the father.
So it still happens. But in terms of the government bringing up money to financing a movie, oh, let's sponsor this film, or this producer is good enough, let's bring out some cash. No, I don't think it happens.
So it was all independent?
It's just personal. As a matter of fact, the creator of the industry, Ghanaian film industry, is not even Frank Rajah. The creator, the brain behind the creation of the industry is Abdul Salam Muni, my friend. Oh. He's a Ghanaian. As a matter of fact, it's half Niger. As a matter of fact, he's Niger. He's from Niger, but he was born and raised in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, in Ghana. And as a matter of fact, he's a Ghanaian.
So he took you there.
He invited me to Ghana, and he from the start is Frank. I know. He actually met me first. I came to film in Ghana for one of my friends, Samira Yakub. You know, Tony Tay is based in Germany. They had them, that's the husband, supposed husband, but no longer together. Okay. Generally, he invited me first. I made a movie first there, which was the official prostitute, with one of Ghanaian's finest as at that time. She was growing there, and she was very good. She was really, the movie was like everywhere, and that got into her. Shortly after that, well, I lost her, but I just think with a whole lot of drama around it and got into a whole lot. You know, stardom has a way of intoxicating. In case you don't know, probably you're not prepared. Right. The way it got into her, she was everywhere. Everybody wanted to be with her, to hang out with her. She was everywhere. Okay. Started drinking too much. It's a whole lot of drama, but I'm just going to cut that. Yeah. But however, she was the star of the moment after the film. Okay. So when that ended,
you just found your own stars.
Abdul Salam just needed to just create an industry, and it was like, Frank, I want to have the likes of Ramsey Noor, the likes of Genevieve Naji, the likes of Omotola Jalade Kende, the likes of Rita Dominics. I want to have them in Ghana. You know, I don't want us watching these. I want them also watching us. So how do we create that? Then we had a meeting. He invited me down. We had a meeting, had a contract. His contract was for a year at first to testing the waters. And within the first 1 year, don't go there. It was something else. And you just killed it.
And now you are the biggest director in Africa. I don't want you to go anywhere because I'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
Let's watch The Real Talk with Aline TV show by our very own daughter of Sierra Leone, Aline Kistar.
Welcome back to Real Talk Show with Aline. Season 2 catches every week on AYV, Star Plus TV, FTN, AfriRadio, and 98.1. You can also download my app if you're an Android user, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you just walked in, today we're talking about the movies. Of course, he's not Sierra Leone, he's actually Nigerian, but you know that name very well because all the movies that you like and still talking about today in Africa, the Beyoncés, the Rihannas, was directed by him. and he goes by Frank Rajah. He's here in Sierra Leone, and I'm hoping and praying he's going to help change the industry. But we're still in the talks. I'm going to try to get him to say yes. But he's doing the work with Navo, of course, AYV. And definitely, I know he's going to, change some faces, new faces that he's working with. Not the old ones. Like he said, some people are commercial, some people are superstars. It depends on your talent. But he's here. Let him speak for himself. Welcome again.
Thank you.
We were just talking about how you ended up in Ghana, and now you're here. I'm hoping and praying it's our turn. However, as far as your expertise in dealing with some actors, dealing with some producers, writers, I'm not sure if you wrote the movies, we'll get to that. How would you compare, or what would you say is lacking in our industry?
The Sierra Leone and
Sierra
film
Leone industry.
Well, even Nigeria, like my country, Nigeria, we still believe we don't have an industry yet. So I don't know when we say the Sierra Leone and film
Are you
industry.
serious?
Yes.
Even on that level where
we still argue that we don't have an industry yet. We just have the filmmaking firms. We don't have an industry. That's how we say it. Okay. Like we always argue that. What are you talking about? What do you think?
What industry?
In Nigeria, we have an industry where but then the rest of the world, like Africans, see like Nigerians, because we turn up movies all the time, and our movies, by the special grace of God, break boundaries. That's the most important thing. It's not about making film and keeping it in within the confines of your environments. Okay. You see, but when you make films and is able to travel beyond boundaries, break borders and all of that, and people see your films and they are like, wow, that's beautiful, then you can start saying, okay, we're arriving somewhere. I just think that's the stage that Nigeria is right now, and I think we are staying put there instead of creating a very firm industry. Okay. When it gets to that point, I'm sure we'll learn to cross it, but at this point in time, most of us still believe that we don't have an industry yet. Okay. So
definitely we're out. You make me feel like we haven't even started anything yet. If you're saying this about Nigeria. People do say we don't have an industry. I feel like we really don't. We're starting, and this is why I actually have you here to learn.
So let's say the film business in Sierra Leone.
Okay, the film business in Sierra Leone.
Okay. Don't worry, I know I'm going to get a lot of criticism for this. I know people talk. I understand. I've been able to read the minds of the people, but you see, the only thing that keeps me driving is 0 is 0, please. 0. 0 is 0. It don't matter. It don't matter what you say. It's what it is. What it is what it is. Many times we tend to want to cover up by, I am this. It don't matter. It don't matter. What matters is what it is. The film industry, so to say, so it makes the people feel very comfortable. No, rather, if you permit me, the film business here in Sierra Leone, I still think has a very long way to go. From my experience, attitude to work, being dedicated to the job, I understand for sure that at this point in time, it's still not a career industry, and I just think that loads of those that find themselves in the field acting are actually doing all the businesses to survive. Right. So the acting thing is just one of those by the side because I love it. I just want to give attention to it. Probably at my spare time, do what I can do because it don't pay my bills right now. Right. The acting don't pay my bills. Acting is not going to feed me or take care of my families and all of that at this point in time. But you see, you need to be ready to make that sacrifice, to take a big step. Give it your all, dedicate your time to it and make it happen. When that starts, like I said, something about the Ghanaian film industry, so to say, the Ghanaian film business. Exactly. At this point in time, you discover that I said from start, you could tell where they were going. Desperate. The desperation, the willingness to do it, the drive to want to do it, the unity, the love amongst them. There's this energy to want to make it happen. You tell them to do it 1,000 times, they're ready to do it 1,000 times. They were so not particular about the money, but today, the money chases them like another thing.
We see it.
There was a huge sacrifice that was the people were willing to make. Abdul was willing to invest so much, to put out so much, to support the industry. The people were willing to support him. There were no negative reports and writings and all of those things about him. It was all about everything was
all positive
about him. The energy was there, encouraging him. I see a lot of things about Navo. When I read sometimes online, I see them. And I still see that he don't really care. He just want to do what he needs to do.
Right.
Trust me, Frank Rajah won't do that. I see something I'm trying to do and you don't appreciate it. I leave it one time. But we are all different kind of people. Most people don't see it. They just see what they can get from it today.
Right.
And trying to get something from it today is not going to create you a field, a business. No, it's not going to make a business. If you get something out of it today, you don't think about what is needed to be put in it to make sure that something comes out of it tomorrow. It's a long-term business. Take your time, prepare the grounds, water it. Then in no time, you reap it. You reap from it. And if you're not willing to do that, some of them are not willing because probably they believe that we've got a lot of bills to pay. And you see loads of them.
I think that's the issue as well, though. Like you mentioned something about Abdul. He was ready to invest in paying these people. Some of the problems we get, everybody complains, is the fact that, people want actors to do the movies, but they don't want to pay. I'm not sure if it's the same situation with Navo and the actors, but I know that's majority of the complaints. So you get people just sit there like, no, I'm not even going to waste my time. While some people who are doing it, they just want to be popular.
I'll tell you something. In terms of payment, first thing you ask yourself is, where is the market?
Right.
You need to prepare the market to earn from it. You don't earn without preparing the market. There must be a market for it. Now, you want to make a film, you're asking for money. Have you thought of where he's going to sell the film? Have you thought of how much he's invested if he's going to get it back? Who's going to be in front of the camera? Who are the words? Who are we going to be seeing in front of the camera? Who are we going to be watching? What do you want to do to make it, to monetize the industry? So there's a lot you need to think about. Okay. Now, if someone is willing to do this, okay, Frank has been able to make movies. He's been able to make movies that kind of traveled far, like to other countries, break boundaries. Okay, I want to bring Frank in here. One, I must say this, it's not like I'm bragging, but it's so difficult to have me anyway. I'm being honest.
Okay.
Because why? There's very little you can offer.
Right.
We're humans. So you don't try to exhaust yourself and you discover that people expect so much from you. And for you to agree to want to do all the things, you don't want to fail.
Okay.
You don't want to fail because why? What people would always celebrate in life is to see you fail. And that's the honest truth about life. Okay. Because whatever you do and you think you're doing right, there are thousands of people who wants to be in that position that you are right now. If you think you're good, there are thousands of people, millions of people who are equally good, but probably don't have that privilege that you have gotten to have attained the height that you're operating on right now. Some of them wants to get that kind of opportunity to be there. Needless what happened in Ghana. I don't want to go into all of those dramas, but whatever it is, the people were willing to support, knowing that there was no market in the Ghanaian film industry.
At that time?
Yes, there was some market for it. They don't have films that could break anywhere. The world doesn't even know Ghanaians make film. Nigerians that are very close to Ghanaians, they don't even in any way see Ghanaian films, watch Ghanaian films, want to associate with Ghanaians as actors.
Oh, wow.
Are you getting the point?
Yeah.
So we don't see them. But you see, they were willing to want to make that happen for the rest of the world to know that there are people like that in Ghana that can as well act. I filmed with a few people who, here in Sierra Leone, who I think at this point in time that they have the drive, the zeal is there, the determination is there. They are good actors. They can stand anywhere and compete. But the ground is not there for them at this point in time. Somebody is going to pave that way, which the man, Ambassador, is doing at this point in time. All that is needed is support. It's not so much about the money. The money is nothing. He's making payments, he's paying them.
Okay.
The what, which is beyond whatever it is, as far as I'm concerned, understanding that at this point in time, there's no market. Let's bring this man. Okay, he's an expertise. Let's bring him. See what he can do. Let's see if it's possible. He's made movies that actually traveled far and wide. Let's see how much movies he can make here. Let's see how the distance these films will go and see if we can have an industry in this country. Okay. Film industry. It takes a lot to make that happen. I know the contract I have with him. Because I'm just but a man. So if I need to exhaust myself, I need to exhaust it in a place I'm comfortable.
Exactly.
So we had a whole lot of talk, and at the end of the day, I felt comfortable doing it. And at this point, the payment in question should not be the problem, even though it's important that we aim for whatever we do. But you see, let us be careful understanding the fact that the industry, the career chose at this point in time is not yet monetized. Like, it's still not a career field industry. So we need to create a market for it.
Let's create the market first.
for it. Create
Because
attention.
when you know, we have directors who've been doing movies. We've had, well, not any movie that's really, you know,
out there
and stuff. Some of the problems, it was about the piracy. That's what they were saying, the piracy. Some of them clearly was lack of production. You know what I mean? And things like that. So now that we're saying there's no market, I'm thinking, okay, so what were they complaining about? Because as far as they're concerned, they were making money in Sierra Leone. I guess they didn't care about, you know, taking that bold step
beyond boundaries.
Right.
I want to say something to you. You don't create it. You don't limit yourself in whatever you do as a business person. If your film is good, your film will travel. And no one is going to
quality sells.
And as a matter of fact, it's even easier these days to make a film that will travel far and wide because of the internet, social media,
things
and
like
all
that.
that. You put on YouTube is for, I mean, the rest of the world to see. You put it anywhere and do 1 or 2 publicity and all of that. It's everywhere. One can see it anywhere. But at the time, the industry was actually growing in Nigeria, in Ghana. There was nothing like social media.
So briefly, how
how
were you guys able to break?
Make good movies. Trust me. When you make good films, the world would look for you. Just make it and put some little promotion and all of that here. There's a problem. Marketing is very important. That's a different department as far as filmmaking is concerned. Make a good film is one thing. Finding the market is another thing. Understanding how it operates is another thing. You understand? But you see, when that question gets to that point, that part, I will talk about it. At this point in time, we're talking about monetizing, like paying the people. That's the question. I just think that before paying the people or before asking for a fee, you should also think of the market for the film. How much do we think the industries or the films are worth in this country? What's the vision? Where are we trying to take it to? If I take, for instance, I'm inviting you to come make a film for me, and I think that Helene has got a big market for me, and I need Helene. People should understand that I'm bringing Helene because I want to probably sell the film to Helene's reach and all of the fans everywhere across the world and all of that. Right. So if being part of that should be a priority, let's do it. Let's encourage this and make it happen. That at the end of the day, this film will travel to a point, to a place that we'll all be proud to associate with. Okay, I want to say something. Sierra Leoneans has made films. I don't know numbers, but I know countless films.
Yeah.
I've made loads of movies.
Yeah.
Can I be very candid with you?
Sure.
I have never seen any sold, neither in Ghana, Mali, South Africa, Nigeria.
Not even Guinea. Liberia?
No,
are you serious?
No. So if these things are not there, what are you doing?
Right.
Is it considered as an African film or just local?
Local. I think it was local. Let me just say it was local.
Films, I don't want to talk things that would rather take things beyond boundaries.
No, you're gonna
but
say
I'm
it
just
all.
trying to say that, you see, we haven't started here. Yeah. That's a fact.
That's the fact.
It don't matter what anyone says. I know there's been the filmmakers here. Me, I'm a talkative, so I'm trying to hold myself because me, I talk.
I want you to
filmmakers here. The likes of Jimmy B, who dabbled from music to making film. I saw his drive from start. I don't know, his ego is like this right now, but I know when it was about starting making films, he actually came to me to even learn what continuity is. Teach me. It's not a pride. I've done that for thousands of people who are great filmmakers today.
Are you willing to do that besides the Navo team? Are you willing to do that for us?
But I'm doing my best possible, grooming them and teaching people.
Okay.
I try to make them feel comfortable around me. If I needed to be to work without training people, I'd probably come with my team.
Okay.
But I decided to work with the people here and probably pull them through the way I like my things being done. You know, so that we can all have one mind.
So in other words, Jimmy B learned a lot from you with the little he's doing in the movie.
Well, I've never had the opportunity. Let me be honest with you. I've never seen any of his movies. Sit to watch any of his films. That's the truth. I've never seen what.
I remember one event where you said he had invited you to come, but for some reason you weren't able to come, and then you were here. I think it was like the Big Sis or Housemates. The first time I think he came to Sierra Leone.
That was okay. First time with Navo.
With Navo.
And that's Housemates. Housemates last the previous one. Yeah, that's the.
And you mentioned something like that to say, I'm sorry, Jimmy, you wanted me to come, something like that. I wasn't able to. However, I'm here now because of...
I talk too much. A whole lot of things must have happened. Me and Jimmy, we used to be very close.
Yeah, I know that.
Jimmy comes to Ghana and Jimmy's looking for Jimmy is Jimmy was close to me. I don't know. I never met him. The first time I met him, I just received him because he came looking for me and all the way from Sierra Leone. We communicated. I was in Ghana then. We met, we talked, we related, and he was close to me. I don't know, for some reason I just was close to him. Just I saw him like somebody from distance wanting to do this. Do you guys
still have that relationship?
Today, no, I don't even want it. So forget about that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want that. So that's it. It's personal. I just think that I'm not willing to go into that, and I don't want this here. So we're just talking. I'm talking to you right now.
All right, okay, we'll be right back after this. Don't move.
I don't want to talk this on screen.
Don't move.
I don't want to talk this on
screen. We have a lot
to
talk about. I'll be right back after this.
Let's watch The Real Talk with Aline TV show by our very own daughter of Sierra Leone, Aline Kistar.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Aline TV show. I have Rajah Arase in the building. He's Nigerian, but made a lot of great impact in Ghana, and I'm hoping and praying he's going to do it here in Sierra Leone. However, if you just walked in, we're talking about him being friends with Jimmy B. He does movies as well. He doesn't really want to get into it, but this is Real Talk, so I want to know what went wrong between you guys, the friendship. Because I clearly remember that was the first time I ever saw you. And you were like, you said sorry to him, like, I didn't come on your terms, I'm here on this. Is that what the problem is, or is something else?
And not really. I'm thinking, I think the problem with myself, and because I know that the industry, as a matter of fact, people call me Papa.
Okay.
I know that I might not be that old, but I've been able to create, or rather make an impact in the industry to the point that loads of people, even those that are older than I am, still call me Papa. Okay. You understand? So Jimmy, if you're talking about Jimmy at the time, I wouldn't say was really my friend, unless of course if he comes around, it comes to Nigeria, let me try to reach out to Rajah, and probably for 1 or 2 marketing assistants here or there and all that in Ghana too. Meeting with him was okay. I need to understand this. I need to understand that. I need to understand this. And I was just willing and I just dished out what I've got to do because it has been in my character to educate people on whatever it is. And I didn't know him, but I saw that he has this burning desire to do something. And I just felt I was me. And we related like that. Once in a while, check up on, see answer his call, and it was just that until, but you see, me, I'm a very straightforward person. I don't like two-faced people, as the honest truth. I don't like two-faced people. I'm straightforward to the core. You can't hold me against that. It's just me.
That I know.
Yes, it's just me. So when I see and I discover that somebody is, I don't do that kind of shit. When you do that, that to me is childish. People like that, I don't hang out with people like that. Okay. I don't like to be seen with people like that. I think another story that came in when some friends of mine came in to make film here. But you see, these are the things that hold the industry. That's starting demonic, satanic apostles in a country that affects that country, and people don't know.
True. That's
the truth. There was a time. Desmond Elliott came in to make a film. I think it was for Navo,
yeah.
That tells you this man has wanted to do something for a long time.
Yeah.
That's quite a long time. They came in, and the report he came in with, he told me, Frank, I'm not going ever going to make the film again in Sierra Leone. But that film went to Africa, and went to Europe, went to other places. As a matter of fact, we saw the movie. We saw even Reflection. We saw all of that. We saw that. But that could have created collaborations between Sierra Leoneans and Nigerians. And most of them today probably would have been blending, and things would have either moved beyond this. But all the talks from Robert Peters, that you went on radio or did this and was like, oh, they're giving Nigerians, so we're also good. We have good directors here. Why bring it? No. When you do that shit, it's dirty. You don't do that.
That is dirty.
You don't do that. All you need to do is support whoever comes. If the people think you're good enough, you'll be given the platform to operate. You don't force it. If some other person is invited to make it, it simply means that they felt that some other person could do it better. So just know that you don't force it on people. Accept the people. support the people, do your own part, and see the industry grow. If you want to be seen as a one man who's in charge of it, you're going to fail, and the industry is going to fail. You don't see yourself as the all in the industry. Open your arms, embrace people, and support the rest of the people. There you would move. The only way Nigerian film industry is moving forward today, you're never going to see one director claiming to be better than the other, one producer claiming to be better than the other, one saying that this person is just overblown and better. And nobody says that. It's your jobs that speaks for you. The rest of the people, when they see you, they respect you. You know why? Because they see your job and they know that your job is outstanding. You don't sing it. When you know your jobs are outstanding, you don't talk about it. The people sing for you, and that's what people need to understand. So when all of that happened, Robert came and Robert had some serious complaining and problems with that. And it was so discouraging. We all heard about all of those things back home. The industry is so small. It's such a handful. So when you talk, we went to Sierra Leone to film there. The environment wasn't okay. This was talking this. There was plenty of division. I take, for instance, when I came in to make film, what part of the reason I said that I couldn't make the film with what's his name, Ahmed Cisse. After I heard the audition here, part of the reason I said I couldn't find what I'm looking for. Number one. Number two, within the audition. Number two, a lot of people, this group would come to me, even to the point coming to my hotel. This is Jimmy Biggs' group. We don't want you to work with these people. These people will destroy your set. This is this group. This group. So there was so much division. I was just listening to everybody. It wasn't making any sense to me. Is this where I want to come work? With all of this division, then I work with this and I work with this, and I'm held on the street and beat, or probably people attack me. No, the ground just wasn't okay. At that point in time, I just thought that the best to do was leave. If this would come to me and tell me this group don't film with this group.
And honestly, I think that's what's really affecting the industry up till now, because that's the problem. There's so many, guilds, there's this, that. Even my last season, I had an actor who was here to have us understand what's going on, all this division. The division was
dirty. It's dirty. That as a matter of fact, was discouraging. And at that point in time, I just said, no. I better just return home. There's no point making it. The ground.
So I'm happy you're here, and in a whole different terms, and like you say, you're more comfortable now. It's a new era, and then don't take the stones to just hurt us. Just keep helping us. But when we talk about Frank Rajah, of course, we talk about the big movies, the Beyoncés, the Rihanna, you know what I mean, the 4 players, I think, all those big movies, and they were so successful. How were you able to did you write these movies, first of all?
I wrote most of them.
You wrote most of them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you see where do you get this inspiration from?
Well, sometimes, I don't know, I just think it's God, but creativity comes from within.
Okay.
When we keep saying God is giving us all one platform. Learn, do your research and learn. Think, open up your brain to see what's going to happen. God gave that to everybody. So what matters, according to me, my belief, is how well you're able to develop what you want to do, put to practice what you want to do. I just think that when I think of what to create, I don't think within my environment alone. I think beyond my environment. And I think what I think that would be entertaining enough for the people. Sometimes I bought a few. Many times those scripts I filmed for people, I got some little complaint about them. So I just discovered that most of my film, I need to put it together. I think, I create, and anything can spark up anything. Just like this conversation can make me start thinking of a story. Okay. I can start thinking of a story that happened.
And you just put it together.
Yeah, the real talk. We're talking, probably a character came here and said something. What happened after that? What happened after that?
Okay, if you're going to do a movie in real talk and know anything about me, just let me know. And let me just work.
So I just think generally...
Okay, so
it's divine anyway. I'm not gonna say it's all me, but I just think I try to utilize what God is giving to me.
Oh, that's awesome. So, do you think with the ones you're working with right now, I think you're working on different series, right, and movies and things like that. Yeah. Do you think those movies and series are going to take us out of Sierra Leone?
Helen. Helen. I say to people, I have never failed, and I can never fail. I rather don't do it than to fail. It's not in my history to fail. I've never had that in the past. I would not have it now. If you think of the longest standing man in the industry that is still till date as creative, the likes of my colleagues right now, the Kunle Afolayan's, that are actually making great impacts right now with all the blockbusters and all of those, they came in after me. long after me.
Long after, okay.
So which tells you that from time, for many years right now, since I was 22, 21, 22, I won my first African Best at 22. Till date, I've consistently been in the top best films in Africa, top 5 films in all the awards. I mean, when we talk about recognized awards, the AMVCAs, the AMAs.
Yeah, it was a lot of awards. I couldn't read all of it.
Yes, the
but it was a lot of them.
Those are awards that filmmakers you dream to want to be part of.
Oh.
Like, they are awards we all look forward to. If you don't have them, you haven't started, as far as we are concerned. There are loads of other awards, I mean, bodies, but you see, there are awards like the African Movie Academy Awards. If you have not won it, it's like you have not started making films in Africa.
It doesn't matter, even if you have a whole bunch of films in your
No, yes. If you don't have that, you don't see yourself. Like, have you won an AMA? You haven't won an AMA. Have you won an AMVCA? You haven't won an AMVCA. Have you won the Golden Icons? You have not won Golden. Have you won?
And you've won all of those.
I have all of them in my table, man.
Okay,
and I have all them, man.
Go,
So yes,
I like that.
I've been 9 times African Best, man. It's not
9
easy.
times
And no one has that in this country. In Africa, no one.
Did
now
you
I'll
hear
tell
that?
you. That's why I keep saying it. I'm like, you see, I started winning all of these many years back. Until last 2 years, I was still African Best AMA, African Movie Academy Awards. I was still African Best. In all of these years, I'm still consistent. It simply tells you that today I don't do like the commercial kind of everyday kind of movies. I don't do.
No, okay.
I do movies. I go to theaters. I go to film festivals. Today has been selected the way I do my films.
Okay.
But you see, I've been very consistent. It just goes to tell that I think before I create. And I do that in a way that I am thoroughly meticulous with the way I choose my writings and my stories and my cast. Coming to make a series here, here. This series I'm making, the Bakimas. It's titled The Bakimas. Trust me. And funny enough, or rather good enough, I'm always blessed anyway. I don't know how that happened, but I'm working with actors that can stand on any platform.
So we do have talent in
Sierra Leone.
Yes,
I'm working with people that I know that when I started with the Ghanaian film industry, they never had this kind of actors.
Wow.
They didn't. The people I'm working with, I swear to God, like they can stand with any superstar in Africa. Be it Ramsey, be it Genevieve, they can stand on any platform and take a role with them and feed from one another. No actor is perfect, neither is the director perfect. But you see, they understand that they need to see their character through the eye of the director. And they watch your eyes, they listen to you. And when you give your correction and all that, they're ready to feed from your words. Live in the world that you're living in. Because you're never going to be able to coexist with me or be in the world of the movie, the story I'm telling, if you don't live in me.
True.
So you need to live inside of me to be able to understand my creation. And when I'm creating and you're able to look at me, listen to me, and feel me, in other words, you connect with my spirit, you can be able to work with me. And that they do. When you're talking, you're paying attention. I tell them, listen, don't listen to my words alone. Get inside of me to see me. You're looking at my outer appearance, you're not going to see me. But listen to what the words I speak to you, their spirit. Listen to it. Get into them. Learn to transform yourself from you into the character I'm painting right now. What am I painting? But the moment you continue to see yourself, for instance, sorry to use a name, to see yourself as, okay, I'm just going to use a name, not anything. Let's say you see yourself as Phoebe Swell and this. And Phoebe Swell might not do this, but the character that I'm painting could do this. So the moment you still see yourself as Phoebe Swell, you're never going to be in that character.
You lose it.
So you need to forget about yourself completely and be another character. 100% until you're done. And I tell people the difference between an actor, acting, when you say this person is an actor, acting, impersonation, mimicking, they perform the same job. But there's a huge difference between all of them. It's not just a tiny line, but a huge difference. So the moment you understand the difference between who is an actor, who is impersonating, who is acting, who is impersonating, and who's mimicking. Somebody who mimics somebody performs the job of an actor. The moment I can mimic you convincingly, it simply means I'm acting like Helen. and I do it, everybody around be like, wow, just behave like Helen. Some people have acted like Helen. That's acting, right? Good. Now, if I'm able to mimic you, I'll perform that. If I'm able to act like somebody will say, I'm acting like Helen, I've been able to do that. You see, but there's a huge difference between all of that. Somebody who's impersonating somebody, if I'm able to impersonate Helen, I try to do my makeup like Helen, do the hair like Helen, comport myself like Helen, give the American accent like Helen, and I'm posing and giving all the... Now, if once I'm able to do that, and I'm talking here, somebody who's probably somewhere else will be like, wow, is Helen there? Then I should be convinced that I've acted like Helen. Convincingly.
Yeah, you think you...
Then you say I've acted. But there's a huge difference between that and who an actor is.
So an actor is who you want to be.
An actor is an actor. Which simply means that when you're impersonating, you can go to bank and you can even steal money from the bank by impersonating another.
Somebody else, yeah.
You can do anything. But the difference here is you know that you're impersonating somebody. An actor does not know he's playing another character. An actor
becomes the
sees
character.
himself as that character. The moment you see yourself out of that character, you're not acting. So one is how you can transform yourself, which thousands, millions of people don't know. They say they are good actors, but they act them. But the moment you don't transfer, your people are watching you, they're not connected to you because they're still seeing you instead of the character.
Oh, wow. Now I know the difference between an actor, acting, impersonator, and mimicking. I just give you a free lesson. You owe me. Don't go anywhere because I'll be back after this.
Let's watch The Real Talk with Eline TV show by our very own daughter of Sierra Leone, Eline Kistar.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Eline TV show. This is season 2. Don't forget to follow me on all social media handles, Real Talk with Eline. Of course, if you're an Android user, don't forget to download my app. Catch us every week on AYV, FTN, AfriRadio, and 98.1. If you just walked in, I'm almost at the end of the show. However, I still have Frank Rajah, a Nigerian director, Africa's best. He said it already. He's Africa's best. He's here, of course, helping AYV Films with some movies, and of course, he never fails. So clearly, you will be seeing our sisters all over Africa. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Anyways, the major problem in our industry, of course, well, film, business in Nigeria and Ghana, they don't feel like they have an industry. Of course, we complain we don't have an industry as well. But the problem is of division. We talked about it, which is a major problem. But also, it's this whole thing about the government helping. Because earlier when I did the research, I thought you were part of the Ghanaian government helping the industry, but you said it clearly that no, these were all independent people that were helping. What would you advise us in Sierra Leone, who wants to get into movies, of course the government? I mean, if they want to help, it's okay. We're not saying don't help, but what would you tell us in Sierra Leone about our film, film business? Because it's not an industry.
Okay, I'm seeing two questions in one here.
Yeah.
We're talking about the government and we're talking about what I would say about the film business.
Yeah, because the thing about the government is the fact that that's our problem, even with the music part. It's more like, oh, we're not growing because the government hasn't really poured money in. You know, the idea we have here is the fact that, oh, the Nigerian government helped the industry grow. The Ghanaian government helped the industry grow. I asked that question earlier when you said, no, they give producers, stipends at the end of the day, say thank you. If they like you, they invite you, they give you money.
You guys just
but it wasn't a bulk money where they say, okay, let's pour it into the industry.
No. You make a film, somebody likes it, and the person just,
but for us right now, we're all dependent on the government because we think, or we were assuming this is what was happening. But I think because of our First Lady, who was an actress, wants to come and help us, I'm not saying they shouldn't help, but do you think that will make a difference if the government comes in to really pour money into it? Or are you still encouraging the independent people to pour money, whether they take it as a career or not?
To create the enabling environment for such money, for such thing to come before you start pegging prices, as a matter of fact. Okay. But I know money is very important. We don't survive without money. It's very important. No matter what it is, you need money. We'll still appreciate you. people would still appreciate you, producers would still appreciate you, pay you. But I just think dedication, being dedicated to the job is very important.
Okay.
If you give it your all, you reap at the end of the day. But I'll come to that. Let me just go through from the government to what I think about the industry. Okay, I'm going to go first of all, for government, if governments want to support, everybody wants that.
Right.
Everybody wants that. Even in my country till date, we wish and we still pray, we still fight it, that government should support the industry. But many times you want to ask, how do they come in? Who are they going to pick, and who are they going to leave behind? How much money are they willing to pump into the industry? How are we going to split the money? Create cinemas. We have so many cinemas in Nigeria today where we make our monies from today. We don't really depend on the sales of VCD, DVD. We don't even do that no more. Unless the very local ones, the Asaba filmmakers and all of that, they do the VCD and all that. We don't do that. Like great filmmakers don't do for VCD, DVD. No, we do films for theaters. If you want to see my film, you have to go to the theater to watch my film. Pay and watch the film across the globe. Now you tell me, among all of these theaters created in Nigeria that are standing firm, none of them is built by the government. They're individuals. But that's how we survive today. So Nigeria has come to the point where we don't really depend on the government to survive. They don't give us light to buy a pass my neighbor generator to survive. They don't give us this. But you see, if those things are provided, it probably will give us, a better standing position to even do better. But with the little we get, we do our best possible to see how best we get. But many times it's better to strive. When the government see what you're doing and they think that what you're doing is good enough to pump in, they would support.
Okay.
Now, but again, I'm going to go, I'll leave that because I don't want no one to throw me stone on the street, but I'm just going to leave that. But what I'm trying to say is we all need governmental supports from time to time. If the industry is something the government thinks, we have the tourists, we have lots of tourist attractions here. They want to sell it to the rest of the world. America is known today because most people have never been to America, but they can tell our places and all of that because of shows, because of movies, because of all of that. They can tell. Most people talk like Americans today because of most of the kids growing up, because of the kind of things they watch, cartoons and all of these things they watch. They grew up with that and all of that. So I just think that visuals, showbiz, music, movies, they have a lot to do when it comes to marketing the country to the rest of the world. Okay. So to me, if government is, I think 100% that government should support, but where they don't come in, do not give up.
Do not give up.
Do something and make the government proud that they have people like this and they want to support in no time. Do you think most of the songs that are played in Nigeria are better than the ones made in Sierra Leone? Do you think the song you listen to every day in the club and all of that, and you're dancing to it and you're enjoying it, you think that they are 100% better than the ones made in Sierra Leone? No. They do their grand works, and they play it into your heart, and you enjoy it better than the ones you have here. It's a grand work. You make a film, you make music, and you deal with the people within your environment, you sell within your environment, it's going nowhere. But when you know how to, you think of places that have large market, the place where there's people outside Lagos, Nigeria, when they make Ghanaian music, when they wanted to start making impact, they want to either collaborate with Nigerians and see how they can promote their films from Nigeria, their music from Nigeria to whatever. Now, I take for instance, Wizkid was saying, I don't release music if I don't connect with my people in Sierra Leone, my people in Ghana, my people in this, that. My people, my team, they do the underground works.
So with us in Sierra Leone, that's what you're saying.
I just think in Sierra Leone, you release a song. That's a song. That's lots of songs I've listened to here that I naturally love. But you see, if those songs are also promoted in other places, like in Nigeria and all of that, people would actually accept them and love those songs. Are you getting the point? I don't want to mention them. I don't want to give nobody no promo.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is, I've listened to songs that are very good. But I think that the people don't do their grand works. You release it here, you sell it here, you earn here. You want to break boundary that big bloggers in Nigeria and all of that, it costs money to make promotion. Tip them, do what you want to do. And go to Nigeria and face that, go to this and do that, go to that and do that. See how you can release it. And the rest of the world do that. Make sure they're blasting your music. You find what's going on now in Ghana right now. They've not been playing my song. What's going on? Try to make sure you blast this, that. Before you know, you're everywhere. Okay. But you don't do that. How do you expect to break boundaries? You don't break boundaries. You sit here and you expect Nigeria to start blasting your music. It don't work that way.
Okay. Now we know.
Okay, so same goes to
For the movies.
Movies. Now, if you make a film, first of all, promote it. Try to sell it to the rest of the world. I'm just going to leave all of that because I'm not... When I want to do that right now, obviously, I do that a lot for money, of course. When I go attend workshops and all of that, I do that. You see, I give my motivational speech. I talk about all of these things, marketing.
No, we're going to have you do a workshop.
What you need to do to break boundaries.
This is the tip of the iceberg because we have a lot to learn.
How to have commercial success, what to think of when you're creating a film, what should a director think of before making a film? How do you sit? Where do you live? If are you living in the world of the film you're creating, or you are in and out of the film you're creating, how do you pick people when you want to do? Who are the kind of cast you want to work with? There's a whole lot that goes into filmmaking. Do you think you're connected to the actor you're working with? Do you think the actor is connected to you? Do you think you guys are working with one mind? Everything comes together. It's very spiritual. Film is a tradition for me. It's very
In
cultural.
other words, that's the successful part of it. That's what makes it a successful movie.
So to answer your question after dancing around, I just think the government has a lot to do.
Okay.
When people talk about piracy is everywhere.
Yeah.
American films are pirated everywhere in the world. Nigerian films, if not 100% of the films I've seen here in Sierra Leone that are Nigerian films are pirated copies. They're not they're not original copies.
Yeah.
The ones I've seen here in Sierra Leone, not one I've seen that is original copy. They're all pirated copies. Now, again, but now you see, you pirate Nigerian films. In Nigeria, you can't see one person pirating Sierra Leonean film. Why? You don't even see it.
You don't even see it.
Why? Why don't you see it? There are bad films also made in Nigeria that is pirated here. Films that you watch and you'll be like, what kind of film is this? But because they've been able to create a mark, so the people will still watch it and enjoy it. So that foundation is what the Sierra Leonean film business needs, so that they break boundaries. When the film is bad, Whiskey can make a music right now that is not so good. People still home and find a way to like it because they've been able to create something from scratch in a way that they've been able to play into your minds. When you're watching, you can say, it's not good, I don't like all this Nigerian films so much. But at the end of the day, you still sit and watch it and you pick one or two lessons.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just think that there's a lot to be done here when I'm given the opportunity to see. But you see, the people, the biggest problem is not willing to embrace others. When you don't do that, your industry remains where it is. Try to mix. Okay. Get directors from outside. Let them work with you people. Get producers from outside. Let them work with you people. Learn from one another. Okay. Understand the culture. Understand what it is. If I need to make a film here of my own in Sierra Leone, I promise you it would break boundary like I've never made film before in my life.
Amen, and I think you need to do that.
So that is what I think the industry should embark on. Okay. Government wants to support, fine, because you need to sell your country to the rest of the world. It's very important. The people are desperate. They want to do something. Do what you want to do. The first lady of this country is still an actor, as far as I'm concerned. She's still an actor. So she would always be an actor. An actor is an actor forever. She's still an actor. And I think the people actually expected or wanted her to do something on that line, toward that line and do something.
I think she's working on something.
But I think she has a lot on her plate right now. But I don't know what she's thinking right now. I don't know what she's planning. No,
she's working on something. We don't know when it's going to happen.
I just think that she needs to do something before she leaves the seat. Okay. She needs to do something so the people will remember her for that. Okay. I think that's what she does. That's who she is. And that's what she's proud of. I've listened to her interview. She still says I'm an actress. And that's I think that she should do something that the people would remember her and print her name at the signs of time.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, definitely, I think we need a part 2 to this one because today has been really, really educational. I've learned a lot because, I mean, some of us are here and want to go into movies or even about the music industry. So it's not about the fact that we don't have talent. He clearly said that he has seen some actors who can, you know what I mean, compete with the Nigerians and the Ghanaians. However, if we don't do the groundwork properly and actually try to sell our movies or our music outside of Sierra Leone, there is no way people are going to know about us. I hope you are taking this very seriously. Of course, I know, Frank, people are watching the show, so definitely directors, producers, artists, you're going to learn from this and make the best out of it. I want to thank you so much for coming to my show and really teaching us. It would be really nice for you to really teach the industry. However, like I said, it's money. We'll find a way to work it out. Even if I have to go talk to the First Lady, be like, oh, let's have a workshop. Because our directors, producers, they need to hear these things. Because most of them, when you meet them, when they talk about the movies, it's all local. And then we wonder how come our movies are not breaking. Groundwork. Do your groundwork, market your movies, and definitely quality sells. If you have good movies, it's going to sell for itself.
There's not to worry about that.
Yes.
That's...
Thank you so much. How long are you here for?
Well, as a matter of fact, I was here. I came in like 2 days ago. I left. I came in 2 days ago.
Till you're done with the series.
I'm going to be here for another season of the series, and I'm working on right now.
When should we expect the series to start?
As a matter of fact, that would have to be
determined.
The ambassador
Gina
Navos, and his team. But as far as I'm concerned, the series is coming out well. It's brilliant. It can stand anywhere. It's 100% Sierra Leonean, apart from the fact that
the director
behind the
is Nigerian.
But you see, film is not about who made it; it's where it's made.
Yeah.
You get a point. It's a Sierra Leonean film series, and that's what is going to be seen anywhere in the world. What series? The Sierra Leonean series. So, as a matter of fact, it's brilliant. It's beautiful. The story is thick. You know me; I don't tell straight stories. It's twisted, thrilling. There's intrigues. Everything. All the 9 yards. From the humor, intrigues, all of that, all of the 9 yards, it's beautiful. So the series is coming out well. But quickly, just to drop something before you leave, in terms of having a workshop. You see, where you don't do that, a country that does not organize workshops don't grow. People learn every day. As a matter of fact, I just came in from Sierra Leone, from Cameroon 2 days ago, and it happens all the time. When you travel to most of these countries, the industry always assemble to have a talk with you. In Cameroon, it's like that. Producers, directors, actors, I had a workshop with actors, I had a workshop with directors, I had a workshop with producers.
So, in other words, it's needed.
And don't
worry, personally, I think I'll work on that.
You see, they're coming to want to embrace you. They want you to do something, and they'll tell you what they're going through. This is a problem in Cameroon right now. How do you think we can come out of this? And And when I was making the film, I was making in Cameroon. Almost everybody, both the producers, the directors, who's got nothing to do on my set, were on my set.
Because they want to learn some more.
Because they just want to be there. You see, it tells you the people who want to do something, who want to grow. But you see, when you're in a place and everybody believes that they know it, and you ask yourself, in all the knowledge, where has it taken us? Let us learn to be humble and want to learn from those who have actually achieved in the field. Don't think what they have to say is stupid. Just pay attention. Take the sense and leave the nonsense. Okay. Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But nobody leaves my set without me. You getting a gift. I want you to say thank you. This is with love from the Real Talk with Aline show.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And those about $1 million. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I won't be here right now with you. I'll be on the phone with like, Frank, let's fly over there. Let's go do some. I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
I don't want to go. I have to go now. And of course, I'm pretty sure you will see a lot of Frank Rajah Arase around. And this workshop, I think, is something we need to work on because we need to learn. I've been your host today, Aliyah Kisa. Till next week.